What's going on, my friends? You're listening to the DIY Marketing School podcast. Maybe I should say that slower. The DIY Marketing School podcast. I am your host and your marketing coach, Melanie Diane Howell. In this episode, we're going to be talking about when you should be showing up online, when you should be creating content in relation to launching something, opening something, promoting something. When and how should you be showing up online to make that the best launch ever? Let's go. You know, sometimes the best inspiration for content comes from conversations. Conversations to content. I might be onto something there. Maybe I should come up with a program named that. No, what I'm talking about is, you know, I do always advocate for one of the best sources for you to get ideas for your content, whether it be for a blog, a podcast, videos, live videos, whatever it is, even social media. Some of the best places you can get those ideas are in the comments in the form of questions that you get from your audience. This is actually one of the reasons I absolutely love live video, because it is so engaging and you do get a lot of comments. You also can foster some really great Q&As, and those questions that get asked are just, they're gold, especially when you have those repeat questions. And when you have repeat questions, you should look at them as if it's like a voting process. Like those questions just got voted up. So anytime you have repeat questions, you should absolutely be creating content to serve your audience by answering those questions. But sometimes the ideas from these conversations don't come in the form of questions. They come in the form of just comments, statements that people are making. I recently had some interaction with somebody, and you know, they are actually really, really busy right now finishing their book, and they're going to be launching their book. And, you know, I don't actually really know this person very well, but we were just kind of interacting, and she made a comment that she's, you know, really looking forward to, you know, getting to the point where she starts creating videos, and that she's just, you know, she's really enthralled in the book right now, but she can't wait to support her book launch, go live and create live videos and to create videos. And I hear this a lot. This conversation sparked the idea for me to create this episode. So that right there is an example, right? And that's what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about how that strategy is not effective. It may be effective for some. It can work. I'm a believer that just about anything can work, but I also believe that there are plenty of effective and more effective ways that we can be doing things. And so I never say never, but it triggered this conversation I had with this woman, and I kind of just gave her, you know, a bit of a nudge, and I'm going to dig deep in it a little bit here in a second. But I always like to kind of give a little backstory on where my ideas come from or why I'm sharing the content I'm sharing, because I do think that helps you relate to it. It helps you understand where I'm coming from. And it's, you know, just part of the way that I do it. I think you should do it too. I think when you have something you're going to share with your audience, you should let them know why you feel passionate to share it. But I just thought, why not offer a little bonus little thing here? Make sure you're paying attention to these comments, to the emails you receive, to the phone calls you get, to the DMs you get, the comments in your social media posts, the comments on your videos, the comments in your live videos, whatever it is. Pay attention to that. You know, I say be listening, but you need to be listening with your eyes, because you're reading most of these comments. Listen, think about it. Where are there opportunities for you to speak up, and where are there opportunities for you to help that person directly in a response? But then can that situation be converted to a piece of content for your entire audience? Okay, let's get into today's topic, which is really the inspiration came from this conversation I was having with this amazing woman who's writing this book. She's going to be, you know, launching. Her book is almost finished, but there's all the processes that go into it. And then there's the timing that it takes to launch the book and all that stuff. And she's waiting. She's not really creating content right now because she's so busy. We're all busy, and some people are busier than others. And I think that you can absolutely never let yourself be too busy that you can't show up for your audience. And so the scenario here is that, this woman's prioritizing and her content is underneath all the other things that she has to be doing in her business, writing her book, working with the publisher, all the things. You probably have your own version of this story as well. And I hear this a lot. I hear this often where people are they're so busy. And so they will avoid certain things or back out of certain things, including social media, showing up online, until they have something that they need to be showing up online for, aka selling something, launching something, promoting something. Or maybe they were a guest on somebody else's show and it's time to share that they were a guest on somebody else's show. So again, that's a version of promotion. It's a version of self-promotion. And the problem with that strategy is that your audience hears from you, then they don't hear from you, then they hear from you, then they don't. And those times that they do hear from you, you are, pushing something on them. You're promoting something. And there's not enough of that relationship building that's happening. So, I talk often, if you've been studying marketing or business, you already know there's this concept that we like to call the like, know, and trust factor. And that's why we are online. We are trying to get our audience to learn about us, make a decision if we're a good fit for them to follow. And then eventually they build trust, and they build trust with us because we're helpful. We share value. That value could be entertainment, by the way. I know that we talk often a lot on this podcast and in my other stuff. I talk about business-based, service-based businesses and products, but your value actually could be entertainment. I know I have some awesome online friends that I actually don't know what they sell, but I know I love their content because it's entertaining. And I follow their content because it's entertaining. And so your value could be entertainment. And eventually you're going to have something you're going to promote, whether it's your own stuff or an affiliate program or whatever. But just keep in mind that when I say value, it doesn't just mean you have to be teaching or offering tips or those types of, valuable content pieces. It can actually be entertainment. So there's lots of forms of value, but you have to know your audience. What do they want from you? And how do you show up and offer the value? That's how our audience builds trust. They trust us. And when they trust us, they will buy from us. That's the like, know, and trust factor. So kind of going back to our example here, the other, that person, if they wait to start creating content to launch and sell their book, they will absolutely sell copies of the book. They already have, an audience, they have people that are aware of them. They've been working with people before. But to launch and sell a book, you can launch and sell a book to anyone in the world, essentially. So why not be creating content now so that you can be attracting your audience, growing your audience, nurturing that audience, letting them get to know you, even talking about the book, take them on the journey about the book. That way, when the book is ready to buy, there will be some people that literally will be like, send me the link. I want to buy the book right now. Give me the book. And then there will be some people that will still need to be nurtured along a little bit and make their decision. But if we wait, then our audience, they're not sitting there on the edge of their seat ready for the book. And I'm not talking about just taking the audience on the journey of you creating whatever it is that you're going to sell. Yes, I do think that you can absolutely tease programs. You can say, I'm working on this course. I can't wait. It's going to come out in the winter. Or we're so excited about our fall product line that we're going to be releasing. We're so excited that we're moving locations. We're going to have, a bigger brick and mortar space to sell more to you. You should absolutely bring them along on that journey. But again, that's a soft version of self-promotion. Always be creating value. Always be sharing. So the reason I wanted to share this and talk about this is because this woman's example was not new to me. So I was already ready for my response because I've given this response many times. I've never talked about it on the podcast in this way, but I hear so often people are waiting for something to start creating content. They're waiting until they have something to sell. They're waiting until they have something to promote. They're waiting until they are ready to offer something. And then they're going to start creating content. They're so busy creating that offer, working on building that up, opening the storefront, getting the business ready, that they don't create content. They're too busy getting ready. And then what's going to end up happening is they may never even create content. I see it all the time. They have good intentions. And then when it's time to launch or open, guess what? You're still going to be busy. I hate to tell you this, but owning your own business, being an entrepreneur, I have this saying, it is not a matter of getting caught up. It is a matter of being less behind. There is always something to do. There's always something on your to-do list. Your to-do list is never going to be complete. And if your to-do list you actually marked everything out, you know as well as I do, there's other stuff you just didn't write down and you're not ready to write down because you want to look at that completed to-do list. But there's always something to do. And quite frankly, if your to-do list is regularly getting marked off completely complete, then you need to push yourself harder. I mean, you're like, oh, you're going there, Mel. I don't like you anymore right now. I love a completed to-do list as much as anybody, but I know also that if I'm done with my tasks, then I'm not growing in the way I need to be growing. And so that's what I mean by that. So you should always have a backlog of things to do. That's a whole separate topic. But my point is that you're always going to be busy. You're never going to feel like, okay, now I have time to go do that thing that I've been avoiding. Because that's what you're doing, my friend. If you're not creating content, if you're not going out there, yes, you're busy, but you are picking other things over the thing that you know you should be doing because you don't want to do it. It's kind of like when I sometimes will, get back from my morning walk or my morning workout and I come in and I have all the intentions to start cranking off things on my to-do list. And those things on my to-do list aren't some of my most favorite things. So I find other things on my to-do list, like the laundry, organizing my desk, putting the dishes away that, quite frankly, could be put away later. I find other things to do when I don't want to do the things I should be doing. So there is a discipline involved in this stuff. And I want you to be really honest with yourself. Are you really too busy to be creating social media content, to be putting yourself out there, to be getting that blog post done, to get that podcast out there, to get that video out there? At least one of those things should be out there regularly. Are you really too busy to be creating content and showing up for your audience? Or is it that you're ensuring that you're too busy by putting things on your list? So there's a couple things here. One, you've got to be creating content now. You have to be. You have to be showing up for your audience now because you need to be growing that audience, letting them get pruned so that you have the right audience, so that when you are ready to promote something, they trust you. They aren't just feeling like you're selling to them all the time, but they're also ready and anticipating. Your content needs to be meeting them where they are in their journey. You need to understand that customer's journey. Your book, your product, your course, your offer is a solution. It's a transformation. But do they know they need that transformation? I'll give you my example. I have a live video boot camp. It's an online course and it's a group coaching program. It's an online program. If I never showed up online and then all of a sudden I started creating videos and I said, I've got this really great program. Y'all should buy it. It's going to be fantastic. What if those people in my audience don't even think that they should be creating live videos? What if they don't understand the value of live video? What if they're not convinced that they're a good fit for live video? What if they are telling them all these myths to keep them from having to accept the fact that live video is in fact the most engaging type of content you can create for social media? What if they need all of that convincing? What if they need that education? What if they need that empowerment, that belief in themselves before they're ready to go spend money on a program? And when I say what if, what I mean is that is the case. Many people in my audience, when they first arrive or learn of me or come into my world, they aren't using live video. And it's not it's not because they are putting it off. It's simply because they don't think they should. They don't see the value in it. They aren't aware of that. And so in my regular content, I talk about the value of live video. I talk about the benefits. I talk about the fun stories, the amazing and exciting things that can happen in your world, in your life, and in your business. I talk about the algorithms, how that type of content's favored in the algorithms, all those things. I go on and on. I also give them enough tips and resources to let them see that anyone can create live video. You don't have to be fancy. All of that content is nurturing them, but it is also prepping them. It's priming them so that they can feel convinced that the ultimate result of my regular content is for them to say, yes, okay, I think I want to try to create live videos. I think I want to learn how to do this. And then when my program is open for enrollment, they are willing and ready, and they are waiting, and they are saying, sign me up. Teach me how to do this. And that is exactly what you should be focused on. But when I say meet your audience where they are, your content should meet them where they are. Know your audience. What do they need to be convinced of? How can you prime them? What do they need to learn so that when it's time for you to promote whatever it is or open your doors to your business or whatever it might be, what is it that they need to learn and know in order to say, all right, I'm ready? This applies to brick and mortar businesses as well. So if you own a brick and mortar boutique, let's say you're opening a boutique, are you going to wait until you open your doors to start creating content? Imagine if your community was already aware that this new boutique was coming in a few months. And what if they were already becoming aware of the style and the clothes and the vendors that you've handpicked to showcase products? What if they were already aware? What if they got to know you as the business owner? What if they could create a relationship with you prior to ever stepping foot into the doors ever for the first time? They have the date. You've been talking about the opening date for months. You know when you're opening. They know when you're opening. They know come Labor Day weekend, your store's going to be open. They know that you're going to be selling women's clothing, children's clothing. You're also going to be selling some light home decor items, candles, whatever, jewelry. They already know. They're ready. They're excited to come and look for these items. They know exactly who you are, what you sell, where you're located, and when you'll be open. You bet your butt come opening weekend, your doors will have all kinds of people from your community walking through it. But if you wait until the last minute to start talking about this, or you wait until you're open, you won't have that many people showing up because the awareness isn't there. The relationship isn't there. Maybe somebody heard there was a boutique going in downtown in your community, but who is it that owns it? Oh, whatever. People are busy. But if they have built a relationship with you, they're going to walk in, they're going to already feel like they know you, they're going to trust you, they're that much more willing, that much more likely to probably make a purchase in your store. So this concept applies to brick and mortar businesses. In my local community in Muncie, Indiana, we have a coffee shop called The Caffeinery. And I always love this example because they were featured in our local newspaper as a young couple that was going to be opening this new coffee shop downtown. And this was years ago. I couldn't tell you the exact year. I want to say possibly 2013. Probably 2012, 2013, somewhere in there. And they started a blog. They started an Instagram account. They started a Facebook page, all like weeks, months prior to them opening up. And they shared part of the journey of what this was going to be, what this coffee shop was going to be. They were showing sneak peeks at the inside. They were talking about their passion for coffee. When they opened up, it was like everybody was already a huge fan and an advocate of this coffee shop downtown. And it quickly became one of the most popular spots to have a meeting, get a coffee with a friend, catch up with somebody. They did this wonderful job with the environment, but they also did a wonderful job of letting us in before we could get in. So we were already building a relationship with this amazing downtown space, these amazing owners. We knew their names. We knew that it was going to be different than, the big name coffee brands or the gas station coffee. It was going to be something new and unique for our community, and it was what we needed and we wanted. And we didn't even know we needed it or wanted it until we started getting to know the owners of this coffee shop. And they're still doing it to this day. They're doing a wonderful job. They have grown, they've expanded. It's very popular. I have Caffeinery t-shirts. I have Caffeinery mugs. They now roast their own beans. You can literally buy their coffee anywhere and they will ship it to you. So they built this brand through social media. They didn't wait till they opened the doors, and they didn't wait for word of mouth. And because they did such a good job, all the advocates started sharing content for them. Imagine if they'd waited. It would not have been that way. So I want you to sit back and I want you to think, what are you doing right now? What are you holding back on? What are you not doing? What are you not creating? What kind of content are you not showing up with? Are you not online? Are you waiting till you're ready? Are you waiting to learn and set something up? Are you waiting until you have something to sell or promote? If that's the case, I want you to really examine this, and I want you to challenge yourself. And I want you to really visualize how much bigger your launch can be, how much better it's going to be because you know your audience, they know you, and they are ready to buy from you when it's time to buy, when you have something to buy. And if you're still telling yourself you don't have time, then I want you to look at the things that are filling your day. I guarantee you can find the time to show up online. I've got plenty of other episodes about being productive, about batching your work, ways to save time in how you show up. But what I will tell you is if you truly can't find that time, then that means it's time for you to get some help. And I want you to look at some of the things on your list that you can have somebody else help you with. And I want that to be your goal. I want you to look at how can you find the time by taking something else off of your list, either by you're prioritizing it and deciding it's not as important as you are making it to be, or what is something that you can outsource? Because I will tell you one thing you can't outsource, and that is you. You cannot outsource you, and you need to be in your content. You need to be showing up for your audience. You need to be creating relationships online. So you can't outsource you. So what else can you outsource? What can come off the list so that you have time to show up and do these things? That's what I want you to be thinking about. If you're feeling stuck, and we all have those things we know we should be doing. We all have those things we know we should be doing. Find the time. You can find it. I guarantee you can. I've been there. I've been in your shoes. I fight this battle to this day. There are things that are on my list that I know I should be doing that I say I don't have time to do. I need to make the time to do them. I'm trying to get much more disciplined about this, much more self-aware. One of the things that helps me is I visualize the ultimate results, and then I get really honest with myself. And that is easier some days than others, but I will tell you that when I go for it and when I focus on doing the things I know I should be doing and I do it, you know what the result is and the immediate gratification is that I did it. And it makes me feel confident. It makes me feel better. It makes me feel like a smart entrepreneur. It just empowers me. And then I feel a little bit of energy to tackle that next kind of task that I don't really want to tackle. So I want you to also remember that if you do this, you are going to feel some energy suck because it's going to take some energy for you to strive towards doing the thing you're avoiding. But the end result is going to be positive. And so I want you to be thinking about that. I want you to be visualizing that you've already done it and you've already had success from it. You already feel good about it. And as I always say, don't wait till you're ready because you'll never be ready. Don't wait till you're courageous to do it. That won't happen. The action will create the courage to tackle the next thing. The action will create more action. And that's what I want you to focus on. And your content is exactly what that is. Your people deserve to hear from you. Those audience members that aren't on your list yet, they need to be on your list. And they're never going to hear about you if you're not showing up online. And even if they do hear about you because of one random piece of content you shared, because there was one random time that you were a guest on somebody else's show and you had to share that link, or you were a guest on somebody else's show and they discovered you there and they show up at your doorstep of content and there's nothing there, they're not going to stay. And they need you. They need you. They need to know you. They need to hear from you. They need what you have to offer. And if you're not showing up online, that's at least one person that's not going to get the benefit of your gifts. So think about that too. Think about the other people. Think about all those people that need you. Think about the reason why you are in business to do what you do. Think about how many people need your help. Think about all those people that have no clue who you are yet. Let them get to know you now. You can send them something later to buy. You can pitch them something later. You can give them the opportunity to enroll in your program, to buy your book, to, come into your store later. But for now, let's let them get to know you first, because there's value in that too. So that is what I wanted to share with you guys today. I really did, because I do see this a lot. I see that people just, they wait. And I think that what happens so often is they say, I'm really busy right now, so when I'm done with this, I'm going to start creating content. And then another month goes by, and then another month goes by, and then the next thing they know, it's been 6 months, it's been a year, and they've barely shown up. It gets harder and harder to refire that engine the longer we go. So let today be the day that you sit down and say, okay, I'm really going to actually figure this out, and I'm going to start doing this, whatever that might be. Whether it's a podcast, whether it's social media content, live video content, videos, emails, I don't care. Let today be the day that you sit there and say, all right, here's my plan. Pick a date and follow through with it. Better yet, pick a date every week for the rest of the year and follow through with it. Do that. Start there. Get out there, start showing up, start building your audience, build a relationship, and have some fun. It is fun. Once you actually decide that you're going to allow yourself to have fun, it's actually a lot of fun. The best part is getting to know your audience and them getting to know you. That is the part that's the most fun. All right, my friend, this pep talk, sponsored by Mel and her conversation she had with an anonymous book author, is now over. I hope that you found this helpful. I hope that it gave you a bit of a kick in the pants, but also I hope that you understand I am being compassionate. I truly do understand this stuff is not easy. We all struggle with this stuff. I'm right here with you. But I also want you to know that now's the time. So make it happen. Go make it happen. Whatever that is, go make it happen. All right. If this episode was the episode that you just decided, oh, I want to be friends with Melanie, I do not want to not hear from her anymore, then make sure you're part of the Facebook group, DIY Marketing with Melanie. I love that group. I love my DIYers. We're having a ball in there. They are doing great things. They help each other, support each other. I go live every week as well. And so subscribe to my YouTube channel at Melanie Diane. If you want to join the Facebook group, just search DIY Marketing with Melanie in Facebook and you will find it. It's a free group, but just answer the questions. I ain't gonna let you in. I don't just let anybody in there. It's a safe community for people who are doing their own marketing and making things happen. So I'd love to see you in there. Love to help you and serve you inside that free community. So that's all I got for you guys today. Until next time, I hope you have a great one. Go be awesome.